Alright, runners, on your marks. Get set. Go!
Cross country. It's a sport where you get to run certain long distances on certain courses outdoors. I decided to try it out by joining the team over the summer in 2023. I specifically joined cross country with one goal: to build up more endurance to run the 400 meter under 60 seconds in track and field. Anyways, I had a great time with friends and there were many challenges on this entire journey. Yet, I somehow managed to qualify for state, which is what I'll be talking about in this video. On the first day of cross-country practice, our coaches made us run a mile time trial. If you don't know what that is, it's a mini race to see how fast you currently are. I didn't have any training before this time trial, so I was cooked. I wasn't even feeling that well that day since I got food poisoning the day before. I ended up running a 6:47 mile that day, and for my opinion, that's a really bad time. I was so tired after the time trial that I ended up falling asleep in the car ride home. After the time trial, we started doing daily long runs on a nearby trail. I'd usually run an average of 4 to 5 miles while trying to pace myself with the faster kids. A few days later, we had our first cross-country meet. If you don't know how the scoring system works in cross-country, let me explain it to you. The objective is to get the lowest place and fastest time. The top 7 runners of each team will end up getting a certain score based on their place. The team with the lowest score will end up winning the race. Also, the top 7 fastest kids on each team will end up in specific varsity races, and they'll qualify for state if they win the section. Anyways, I didn't have super high hopes since we were up against some pretty fast kids in our first race. I managed to run an okay time in the 13-minute zone, which is pretty decent for my opinion. I continued to train until our first away meet came around. This meet was pretty special since it had an FAT camera. If you don't know what that is, it's a fully automatic timer so all of our times would be accurate. I was kinda nervous before this race because I wanted to get a really fast time to try and make the varsity, but I sadly didn't know until the last minute that this course was a road race, so I ended up having to take off my cross-country spikes and had to run with an old pair of shoes. So once the race started, I took off really fast, trying to pace myself with the fast kids, and this was a massive mistake because we had to run up and down the steep concrete hill that was around 80 meters long. After going back up the hill, my allergies kicked in, which made it super difficult to breathe. I ended up slowing down a lot and got a time of 14:59. Silly me. I was pretty devastated after that race. I decided that I would train harder by running individually out of practice, and this worked out pretty well. A couple of weeks later, we had another meet, but it was against 684 kids in the open race. I was kind of focused on getting a new PR somewhere in the high 12-minute zone. I went out pretty fast in this race, but decided to pace myself behind the fastest pack of kids to save some energy. The pack ahead of me started to pull away slowly, but I kept up my pace until there is this huge 200-meter straightaway to the finish line. I have a huge tank of energy left, and there's tons of kids behind me, so I start to sprint. I continue to drive my arms, passing tons of kids down the home stretch. I get closer, and closer to the guy in first place, and I am not slowing down. I end up passing the dude in first place, and he starts to pick up the pace. Crowd gets louder and louder and louder, not knowing who would win the race, and it's really close. I end up slightly winning by 40 milliseconds with a time of 12 minutes and 11 seconds. I was super proud of this race. I've overachieved my goal and soon realized I could make the varsity if I ran a fast race like this again. Somewhere near the start of the cross-country season, I decided to run with my friend at a nearby park. As we finished our workout, we decided to walk over to my house to play some video games. While we're walking, we start hearing some high-pitched voices shouting out some swear words. Both of us freeze for a couple of seconds and look around. I quickly spot these 2 4-year-olds in a tree shouting these swear words at us. What is wrong with this generation, man? Anyways, I decided to shout aloud, "Hey!" Which spooks the mischievous kids. I hope they get no-clipped into the back rooms. The season slowly comes to an end. We arrived to our second to last open race. I'm pretty nervous for this race because this is one of the only 2 chances that I have left of making the varsity. Luckily, there was a storm that caused the officials to combine both of the open and varsity races together. This was great for me because I was able to run a great time of 12 minutes flat. I even got a varsity medal, which was pretty cool. I ended up improving a lot. And on the next meet, I got a time of 11 minutes and 38 seconds, so I knew that I was going to stay onto the varsity and was hoping to do well at sectionals. Sectionals rolls around and I'm kinda nervous. This is the only chance that I have to make state in my first year of cross country. I start stretching and prepare with the varsity for this huge race. I'm a little bit intimidated by the other teams, but I stay confident and hope that I'll be able to do well. Once the race started, I paced myself with the 3rd fastest runner of the team. I was able to outkick him by tons of seconds at the sectional with a time of 11 minutes and 28 seconds. I also got 9th place at sectionals and got a pretty cool medal. The whole varsity team ended up qualifying for state, and all of us were really happy for this achievement. Anyways, I did pretty well at state, tying my PR of 11 minutes and 28 seconds. I got 30th place, but my school got 2nd place overall in the state meet, so all of us got a free medal. I'm really proud of this cross country season because I was able to qualify for state in my first year of running cross country, which is pretty incredible for my opinion. Anyways, here's all of my FAT times: 14:59, 13:21, 12:31, 13:18, 12:11, 12:22, 12 flats, 11:38, 11:28, 11:28. Anyways, I did cross country to train for the 400 meter dash and track, and I've improved so much. My PR on the 100 now is a 12.32, my 200 PR is a 25.42, my 400 time is a 57.76. I had a great track season, but I wasn't able to qualify for state. I was a second away from the qualifying time in the 400 meter dash, which was in the 56 second zone. Running the 400 meter under 60 seconds is already tough enough, so I was pretty proud that I ran a 57. However, the track sectional was screwed up. The officials messed up most of the events by making the lane staggers really off. Let's say that most lanes had to run a longer distance than others, so they messed up bad. They made me run 24 extra meters, so my time on the FAT was 59.3, but they quickly fixed it to a 57.76. Sadly, they didn't fix the relays, so my 4x2 and 4x4 were 2 to 3 seconds away from making state. I didn't qualify for this issue. I was pretty infuriated about this. Knowing that you've been robbed from making state is not a fun experience at all. Anyways, I had a great 8th grade year of cross country, and by the time when I'm done with this video, I'm almost done with my freshman year of cross country in high school. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have an awesome day.